It's early afternoon in the Wasatch Mountains of southern Utah, and a fine time for a man to go walking with his wife, or if you're Randy Maudsley, with your 4 wives.
And when there's a gal in bed with you, you know she's one of your wives, at least you hope. And they all have basically the same form. I get fearsome confused. And sometimes you say, I love you, Patty, and it's Sam.
He has a foolproof plan, though. He calls us all honey and babe, so he doesn't have to remember. It's
Randy comes from red-blooded pioneer stock. Plural marriage, polygamy, runs in his veins. For him, it's God's will.
4 women have 4 separate personalities, 4 sets of needs, 4 sets of emotions, and unless it's all predicated upon one's faith in God, I'll just say it like that, then it can't be done.
So you're telling me if you don't get it right, it could be like having 4 bad marriages at once?
Well, think of the word woman. Woe, which is Hebrew for covenant curse. Woe man, covenant curse to man. If you're not doing it right, you'll find out what a covenant curse of a woman is, and they'll make your life hell.
Now, how do you tell if these berries are bad or good?
Taste them and see if you die.
Whoa, Patty, thanks.
Gladell, Sam, Patty and Angel are Randy's wives. Sam, a veteran of 22 years of marriage, through to Angel, not much more than a newlywed at 18 months.
Yeah.
You all appear to me to be what in Australia we'd call good mates.
Yeah.
We are very, very good friends. You have to be to live together.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 4 women and 1 bathroom.
I don't think I could cope with the whole lifestyle.
You'll be amazed at what you can handle once you get into it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's terrible for him. Sometimes we throw him on the bed and somebody rubs his feet,
Oh, no.
somebody rubs his forehead, and a couple of others rub his hands, and we make him talk to us.
Happy birthday to you.
Those whom God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Though in the interests of worldly harmony, Bart Malstrom has built 4 houses around his own, so he can flit between each of his 4 wives and their children. They are many children. At this birthday party, I counted 13 Malstrom kids, with plenty of evidence of others on the way.
We had 3 last year.
And is that part of the aim, to produce a lot of kids?
Not necessarily part of the aim, but it is part of our belief.
Bart and Pam, his first wife, tried monogamy for 15 years. Long years, perhaps, for Bart, for we definitely get the impression that the switch to the rigours of polygamy was mostly his idea.
How do you overcome such a deeply entrenched human emotion as jealousy in a situation like this? Especially early in the piece.
Well, in the first year, I spent a lot of time in my washroom trying to deal with my own feelings. And as time goes on, you learn to love this other woman like you do yourself or your sisters.
So it gets easier.
Oh, yes.
Like
Very
most
much
things.
so.
Back to the mountains, where we find Randy Maudsley among his wives like some Old Testament patriarch. Or, if you prefer biology to the Bible, like some successful primate, a luxuriating silverback gorilla surrounded by his doting females.
So how does another wife arrive? I mean, do you decide that it's time Randy had another wife, or does Randy wake up in the morning and say, I think I'll get another wife? How does it happen?
Actually, each one of these gals asked Randy to marry him, including me. I used to go in and pray that God would send Randy wives that loved him as much as I do. And it's been a really fascinating process watching these guys fall in love with them.
That's extremely selfless of you.
Well, I didn't know what I was talking about at the time.
The original Mormon pioneers and their Church of the Latter-day Saints were staunchly polygamist, an article of faith that had to be dropped in 1890 as part of the price for Utah becoming a state of the Union. Though the state does look the other way, Utah's polygamists have found the need to form their own breakaway churches and their own secretive communities, where it seems it is not all happy families.
Well, I know that when I married my first husband, I had only known him for a few weeks. I married him. I didn't love him. I had very little emotional attachment to him.
Carmen Thompson was 10 years married, wife number 6 and a mother of 5.
Love and pleasure really didn't come into it.
Well, when I had him on Tuesday, what are you going to do? You know, you've got him for 4 or 5 hours one evening a week. How intimate can a relationship really be?
Did you want mashed potatoes?
She says she fled the arrangement when her husband married his own sister. Now Carmen runs a Salt Lake City support group for women refugees from polygamy.
Polygamy is no more about religion than rape is about sex. It's about control, and it's about power. I've seen as early as 9 years old married, and that would be in the biblical form of married. And it's atrocious.
You mean at that age they're having sexual relationships?
Yes, I do. Yes, they are. As early as 9. And immediately, very shortly after they're married, they start having children, and by the time that they're in their mid-20s, they could have up to 12 children.
John Daniel Kingston went to court yesterday accused of beating his daughter when she ran away from a plural marriage.
In the last year, polygamy has received a bad press, even in Utah, as a result of FBI investigations into a 1,500-member sect known as the Kingston Community. The leader of the Kingstons has 37 wives. The former Kingston wife, Rowena Erickson, says that they had good reason to be concerned about what was happening.
You should see these kids. Look at them. They don't have any light in their eyes. If you've been in other groups, look at them. They're sort of a glazed over look. The little kids they're very quiet, submissive, very obedient. Everything looks just wonderful. The Stepford wives, the Stepford children.
And what about the men? Do you think that they're brainwashed as well?
They're brainwashed too. And a lot of the young men in the Kingston group can't find wives because the older ones are scarfing them all up.
So what happens when an old polygamist dies?
There's a feeding frenzy among the other men because, here's all of these available women. And so they make a play for them. It's really appalling.
But the old guys are getting all the girls.
Right. And because they don't take new members. Everything is within in the Kingstons. And so they're intermarrying. Half-brothers and sisters have children, and those children marry the half-brothers and sisters again. They're having a lot of genetic defects, children dying.
This is a true and living church of Jesus Christ of the Saints of the Last Days. Randy Maudsley and his brood are members here, so is his plural marriage pal, Bart Malstrom. In fact, the congregation is swelling weekly as this little church achieves cult status. The church believes polygamy is required by God and heaven cannot be attained without it.
But in the eyes of the state, these marriages aren't legal, are they? Only the first one.
Well, they're not legal. We believe they're lawful. See, we believe they're lawful in accordance to the law of God.
But to the law of the state.
Well, what does the state have to do with marriage, Charlie? Think about it. Who married Adam and Eve? The state or God? My personal view and all my brethren's personal view is they're free to leave anytime they want. If they don't like me, please go find somebody that you do like.
Let's just do a big chef salad. Do we have any cheese from... We can take some of the lunch meat and some of the cheese and just do a big chef salad. That sounds good.
Really good to me.
All right.
So we'll need some of this lettuce then too, right? Can I give
For the
that to you?
prurient who've been wondering about the sleeping arrangements in Randy's crowded little house on the prairie, the girls share 2 to a room, while Randy has his own room and the wives have a roster.
We have come to learn that sex is not as important as we thought it was. And so it becomes a smaller and smaller part of our lives. And we learn to be satisfied with other aspects of our relationship with Randy, because obviously with 4 of us, we're not getting a lot of sex. And Randy is getting more and more headaches all the time.
America was founded by nonconformists who wanted to worship their own God in their own way. The Constitution guarantees it, along with not just life and liberty, but also the pursuit of happiness. Society mightn't always approve, but it does seem that Randy and his wives really do have it in writing.
Isn't that strange? If there was something that I wanted to tell the world about plural marriage, I would want them to know that it's glorious and that it's beautiful. And having sister wives is one of the greatest blessings I've ever had.
Can you believe these women have told me that they are perfectly happy and that they are there by their own will?
Yes, because I said the same thing. I said the very same thing, and I knew that if I didn't represent to the outside world what my husband wanted the outside world to see, that the ramifications were going to be much more than I was willing to deal with.
Have you ever been tempted, girls, to be lured away?
No. We've never found anything better.
That's the truth.
If he blushed, he'd blush now.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.